All right, check it. We live. Let's get it, man. I don't want to do no long intro, man. It's a lot going on right now, man. I want to hit it and I want to get straight into it. I didn't want to edit nothing. I wanted to be raw. I wanted to go straight at you. This is for those who have a high level basketball IQ. I don't want no dummies in this conversation. If you offended by that word, then you probably who I'm talking about. You don't need to be in this conversation. This is about folks that know basketball on a common sense level, on a high IQ level, that know you probably need a big man on the floor if you want to get more rebounds. I'm talking to that level of a basketball fan, man. I want to explain to you how y'all mans, not my mans, but y'all mans, literally coached us out of a championship, coached LeBron James out of a championship. And I mean, I'm still hot about it, man. I'm being real. I took some time. I wanted to get my brain right. I wanted to breathe because I'm still flabbergasted at what happened in front of my eyes, and more hot at the fact that half the fan base is too oblivious to even know it happened right in front of them. I can't do dumbness, man. So I want to hit this. I don't care how many views it get. Like I said, I didn't really want to edit nothing. If I screw up royally, maybe I'll chop some. I wanted this raw top of the dome, man. I want to take you back to preseason when my Spidey antennas was first kicking up and my red flags was first kicking up about dude, and bring you back to current and explain to you how we got killed in the Western Conference Finals from a coaching standpoint, and why we're sitting here now watching two, or technically three teams duke it out for a championship. We're not involved. We on the outside looking in, being the better team. I'll explain to you how this happened. Bet, let's get into this. We're gonna get it raw. Boom. Let me get hold. Let me get one of these in real quick. Like I said, I'm still tight about it. I'm still tight about it. I ain't. I'm also break down why I'm also not confident about this organization as a team going forward into next season. Boom. Let's get it. Last year, summer 2022. Um, we were sitting there, just let go of Frank Vogel. We're sitting there talking about what coaches we need to bring in. Now, mind you, I've been a proponent again for Mark Jackson from day one. Why? Basketball IQ. He has the stature to command the locker room. He has the stature to command the respect of superstars when he walks into the locker room. You're talking about LeBron and AD on a win now team. There is nobody else that should have got that phone call with Mark Jackson, which was exacerbated by the fact that LeBron put out a tweet, not from was it from him or his staff or whoever. You know how he do, letting it be known that he would be ecstatic to have Mark Jackson as the head coach. You know how he like to put his little sublims out. Boom. So I'm sitting there, okay, boom. They actually gave Mark Jackson an interview. I'm getting hype. I'm ready to go. Let's get it. We sitting there interview Mark and he don't get the job. I'm sitting there waiting. Are they gonna announce it? No. Come find out they give the job to a rookie head coach named Darvin Ham. Now I'm sitting there back like, hold on, wait. We have a win now team with LeBron and AD ready to go for a championship. You need a coach that been there, that has the IQ, that know what time it is, and you get a rookie head coach for LeBron's 20th season? Okay, that was red. I mean, that's not a red flag, but that was already my little head scratching moment. Like, okay, but I heard my man's interview. Let me fall back. Let me get his dude a shot. Let me see what he got going. He seems to have a good presence. Seems to be a strong presence, disciplinarian or whatever. I'm willing to get his dude the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they saw something nobody else could see. I'll give him a shot. We come into the season, man. We have a big acquisition in the summer. One of my favorite players in the game, that is Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant is one of the best stretch fives in the game. Big boy, aggressive, beelines from rim to rim. A rim runner, can run pick and roll, can score at all positions, can give you 20 and 10 with 2 to 3 threes, man. After watching AD and Boogie Cousins, I've been calling for Thomas Bryant ever since we had AD. Like, that would be the perfect stretch five for AD. We got Thomas Bryant. That's really all I needed to hear all summer long. I'm like, we going to the title, because that combination in itself is going to be disgusting. So I'm hyped. No issues with him. In the summer, I hear my man They asked him about what offense he's going to run. He said he wants to run the 4-and-out offense. Now, I'm not going to go into all the intricate details of the offense. I ain't on that. I ain't going to sit there and ask the backdoor cut. I ain't with all that. But what I do know is when I first heard that, I'm like, okay, that's cute when you got Giannis and 4 shooters spreading the floor, but we have AD and LeBron. Like when you have those two on the floor, as a coach, when I walk into that gym, the only thing I want is AD and LeBron, y'all two come here. I need y'all on the other side of the court mastering y'all pick and roll game because there's no team in the league that can stop y'all picking. We have arguably one of the best passers in the history of the game and one of the best finishing big men in the history of the game. Y'all work on y'all pick and roll, behind the back pick and roll, kick the AD for the pick and pop. There is no team that can stop that action under the sun. Let me explain something to you. When you have Anthony Davis, you want to use him as simple as possible. You want to simply use him in pick and roll Anthony. Think of Karl Malone. Think of Amari Stoudemire. All they had to do their whole career is set the screen, pick, layup. Set the screen, pick, 10-footer, 15-footer. This keeps Anthony Davis fresh so that he's not having to fight through defenses to score. You don't want him getting the ball at the top of the key, pump fake and double. If you look at his highlights, look at how just volatile even his scoring is. The spin, the up and under, the falling to the ground. That's why this man is always injured. You don't want him having to create all of this action to score when he has the best passer in the game to run pick and roll with him. A quick pick and pop, 10-footer, 15-footer, quick roll to the basket, dunk, and one layup. That's how AD drops 40 and 20 because his offensive rebounds are high when he's doing that action as well. Then on the flip side, when you have him at the 5, you have him getting beat up by Jokic in the paint, which y'all saw in Game 4, getting literally abused. When people keep saying AD is one of the best defenders in the world, they just think that means put him on anybody. No, AD is brilliant as a help defender. That's his strength. When you have him at his position at the 4, he's able to come help the center, come back to the 3-point line, long limbs, get steals, reach out. You know what I'm saying? That's how AD is dominant when he's off the big. He don't want to bang with the bigs. He's not a 5. He's been telling you that his whole career. That's where Thomas Bryant came in. That's why Thomas Bryant said in the summer he wanted to play the 5 next to AD because he'll take all that punishment. AD don't have to and leave AD over there to score. Plus he can stretch the 5. And flip side, AD kept talking about Thomas Bryant like that'll allow me to be off the ball where I want to be. I can read and react, come into passing lanes and help him out with the bigs and come out. This is how they was talking about each other all summer. Let's get into the preseason. Game 1 of the preseason. I'm hyped. I'm ready to see what AD and Thomas Bryant gonna do. I'm ready to get it in, right? Who do we see in the starting lineup? Damian Jones. Like, wait, what? Why is Damian Jones starting? We all know the center for this team in the future is Thomas Bryant, and we need Thomas Bryant and AD to get as much reps as possible. Like, what's going on? Damian Jones is in there. He kind of struggling with this and that, struggling. We go to game 2. Who's starting again? Damian Jones. So I'm like, okay, you would think we want to see AD and Thomas Bryant as much as possible. We never see that. And fast forward to the trading deadline, we have yet to see a single possession of AD and Thomas Bryant on the floor together. Did you hear me? We have yet this season up to the trading deadline to see AD and Thomas Bryant on the floor together. These red flags for Darvin Ham is kind of kicking in, right? Let's get into the regular season. As we all know, yo mans, not my mans, yo mans, started to show an early habit of constantly playing Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Beverley, and Russell Westbrook lineups for huge portions of the game, using them all as spot-up shooters in a heavy 3-point shooting attack. Let me repeat that. This coach was constantly using Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Beverley, and Russell Westbrook, 3 undersized guards that can't shoot, in a heavy 3-point shooting attack. That alone is a fireable offense. On top of that, we start watching games and realizing, why is it that every time another team goes on a double-digit run, this man never calls a timeout? Let me explain something to y'all, for maybe y'all that ain't catching it. When you have a star player in Anthony Davis that you don't utilize correctly, you're running 3 small guards that can't shoot in a heavy 3-point attack. On top of that, you allow teams to go on double-digit runs consistently and never call a timeout. You cannot win basketball games under any circumstance constantly doing that, bro. You can't. So when you hear people talk about he took a 2-10 team to the he's the reason we were 2-10 in the first place. Like what is you talking about? Like, this was the constant talk with Laker fans. What are you talking about? He's why we're 2-10. Let me get a swig, man, because let me get a swig, bro. Do you understand the stress, the mind numbingness, the anxiety it brings to watch dumb basketball all year long, and the yelling at the TV that when your coach can't make sound decisions? Come on, man. I'm sorry, man, because like I said, I'm still tight about this. I'm still tight about having to watch this all year, but I'm more tight about the obliviousness of the fan base to not be able to recognize what's going on in front of them and why we're 2-10 and why we can't win games. And it starts with the man on the sideline, man. This stuff is unbelievable, man. You can't utilize AD correctly in a pick and roll situation. Put a big. Let me get another swig, man, because matter of fact, let me just fast forward, man. Boom. Let's get us to trade deadline. We pull off one of the greatest trades in Laker history, bringing in one Rui, Mo Bamba, D'Angelo Russell, who am I forgetting? Malik Beasley, and Vandal. One of the just seamlessly just flawless trades that seem to fit every nook and cranny, right? Cool. A lot of the ongoing joke was we got rid of Patrick Beverly, we got rid of all small guards, so we saved Darvin from himself. We won't have to see those 3-guard lineups anymore. In the words of Charlie Murphy, wrong. We still continue to see them lineups. Not them same lineups, of course, with Patrick Beverly. We started to see D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder, and Austin Reeves lineups. Now, mind you, this group is a little bit taller, so we're not giving as much in the height, and they're a little bit better in the shooting category. So we weren't being hurt as much as we were previously. But nevertheless, he was still running them 3-guard lineups, but getting away with it because we had a bit higher level of talent on the roster. Let's fast forward to the playoffs. Y'all mans, not my mans, y'all mans was able to get by with those 3-guard lineups because we were playing 2 small teams, the Memphis Grizzlies, who lost their bigs, and the Golden State Warriors, who always play small. He was able to get by with those small lineups because we were playing 2 teams. Now, when you get to the Western Conference Finals, when it's a team that plays big, is one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and has Jokic in the front court, meaning you're forced to have to adjust, what did this man do? He came out with the exact same 3-guard lineup he used in Golden State. Now, let me pause on that for a second. This is the NBA, right? You have coaches, you have coaching staffs. When you're going into a new playoff series, the job of the coach and the staff is to look up previous footage of the championship year in which we played and beat Denver. When you sit back and look at that footage, as a lot of us fans did, you will recognize, wait a minute. Okay, I get it. We ran bigs on them boys and nullified Jokic. That's how you beat Denver, going big. That's what any intelligent basketball mind, any coach, any assistant coach, anyone on the staff would recognize when you look at footage. When you come out in game one with the exact same lineup you ran to Golden State, what does that tell me? It tells me in your mind, you were like, well, I won the game with this lineup. Why wouldn't I use it again? That tells me as a coach, you don't know what you're doing. If I'm an exec, I know right off the rip, you have no clue what you're doing. Nobody with their right mind would have brought the same lineup we won against Golden State against Denver in game one. That was a wrap. That killed us in game one. But hold on, I ain't even gonna go there yet. We get blasted in the first half, right? We would think a coach would see that, okay, we're getting killed in the paint, we're getting killed on the boards. Let me switch this up. Wrong. He came back with the exact same lineup in the second half, my G. Let me explain it. He started game one with the three guards he used against Golden State. We were crushed. We were crushed on the boards. We were crushed in the paint. He came back in the second half with the exact same lineup. If y'all can't recognize a man that don't know what he doing off of that alone, I don't know what to tell you, and you ain't somebody I can rock with anyway. My man killed our chances of winning game one of the playoffs right off the rip. But check this. We were like, okay, we found a little sweet sauce. We all discovered that what's my name? Rui was a little secret sauce in game one. So we left game one. I even did a video like I ain't that mad because we found the secret sauce. We getting the split. Everybody knew the secret was to switch Rui into the starting lineup, use some size, and we got them boys. Game two, did he do that? Nah. He said, I'm going to go with Vando against what everyone was yelling. Now, not calling Vando a bad player. I'm just saying we found the obvious recipe. Now, Vando, to his credit, came and balled out defensively. He actually held my man Murray in check for the majority of the first half, and we had a double-digit lead. Guess what happens in the second half? Vando is nowhere to be found, while Murray is going off and scores 23 points in the fourth quarter, and killed us in game two. How does that happen? How do you allow Vando to keep this man in check for a whole half, but don't use him at all in the second half while Murray's going off? How does a basketball mind, a basketball coach, not sit back with any staff and address that particular issue? How does that happen? That tells me you don't know what you're doing. Now we're down 2-0. Game three. Guess what my man does? He come out with the exact same lineup. I don't need to go on all the details of game three. We get smashed. We lose that game at home. Why? Because we weren't able to execute in the fourth quarter once again, which has been a thorn in our behind all year. Why is that? Because you don't know how to get easy buckets from AD. You don't know how to run pick and roll. You don't know how to tell your team, mainly LeBron and AD, to stop shooting three-pointers when that's not our strength, and attack the paint on every damn possession. That's the job of the coach. I even had heard some basketball analysts. What is he supposed to do? Tell LeBron to stop shooting threes? Yes. You the coach. What you saying? It's killing the team. I'm sorry, man. Needless to say, let's fast forward to game four of the Western Conference Final. This man finally made an adjustment in the series. He sat down D'Lo, who was struggling. And if you watch my previous video about D'Lo and Malik Beasley, you'll know why, because he's using him as an off guard and a spot-up corner shooter, watching another point guard get busy. He can't get into a rhythm. Now he's losing his confidence because his spot-up shooting isn't working. He ain't able to handle the rock like he used to, so now you've lost D'Lo. Okay? He sits D'Lo for game four. He finally starts Rui, which we all know was the decision after game one. And he actually, for the first time of the series, put up big on the floor and Tristan Thompson. This game, I'm like, okay, we're going to be able to get this one, right? We're going to be able to get this. We finally got some size on the floor. We finally got Tristan Thompson who's balling, controlling the momentum. And while Tristan Thompson is balling on a fast break with the dunk, getting the crowd going, pumping his chest, we finally see him put on some energy more than AD has done all game. We took a 4-point lead because of Tristan Thompson. And guess what my man do? He took him out the game. Swear to God. Tristan Thompson finally had the building jumping. We finally saw defense, a chest pumper, somebody that's getting the crowd going, getting the rebounds, guarding Jokic and hand in his face, and took a 4-point lead because of Tristan Thompson. We had the momentum on our back, crowd jumping, and this man took him out the game. I tweeted in that moment, man. That was a done deal, man. When you can't recognize momentum, you can't recognize momentum players, you can't recognize he was the energy we needed, and you finally put a big on the floor, and we was getting busy, we was cooking, and you took him out the game, man. That was curtains, man. That was curtains to me. That was curtains to the fan base. That was curtains to LeBron James getting his 20th to getting a title in his 20th season, man. Coach destroyed any chances of us winning game 4, winning game 1, 2, 3, all in between, man. And the thing is, I can't even say Mike Malone outcoached him. Mike Malone didn't have to make a single adjustment, yo. Mike Malone didn't have to make a single adjustment. Darvin Ham killed himself in that series and this city's chance at a title with horrendous coaching. I've said several times during the season, you cannot overcome horrible coaching. You can overcome bad coaching when you have the roster and the talent able to just win you games simply because you have 30 points from LeBron, 25 minutes. You can win games from a bad coach, but you can't overcome horrible coaching. And that was what was displayed at the highest level in the Western Conference final with an inept coach not able to. Again, how do you have a full staff of people that look up footage? That's what their job is to do, look up footage to see where you're successful. That has all the footage available to look at how we beat Denver in the championship run and come out game 1 with that BS lineup he started game 1 with. How does that occur? But that ain't even it, y'all. Sitting here watching Denver celebrate, knowing we was the better team, we just got killed by our own coach. I got to sit here. Now I'm hot, mind you. Not at the L, but the fact that we were the better team, the fact that we got LeBron still playing elite level ball, we got AD not being utilized correctly, and we got Denver celebrating on our floor. But after that, while I'm sitting there pissed at this coach costing us a series, we got Magic Johnson, of all people, tweeting to Laker Nation, don't worry, Laker Nation, we in good hands or whatever. We now know we have the coach of the future. We have this. And I don't know what else he said after that. Everybody, if you look at the comments after Magic tweeted that, half Laker Nation is like, what? You sitting here with a straight face talking about we have the coach of the future. We in good hands. What? And half of Laker Nation agreeing with him. Yes, he brought us from 2-10 to the win. He's why we was 2-10. From that moment on, my G, I was done. I was done. I've watched so many bad coaching from this one to the Luke Walton era to Frank Vogel running Isaiah Thompson, Russell Westbrook, and his 3 guard lineups he was running all last year to the worst of them all this year. Literally handed a title away from LA. And Magic Johnson talking about we know we got the right coach going for, and I got to sit here like I'm in this twilight zone, like nobody saw what just happened on the floor. Nobody saw what happened all year long. We got the coach of the future. So after all these years of heartache watching this dumbass coaching, I'm stuck with this dude for the next 3 years, and nobody in Laker Nation got a problem with it. Nah, bro, not the kid, man. I'm be real with you. It put a foul taste in my mouth. I'm tired of sitting there watching execs and people not being able to recognize horrific coaching when it's sitting right in front of their face, man. I can't do it. I didn't want to hear nothing about free agency. I don't care what trade coming up. I ain't in the mood to be hearing none of that. The man that just cost us a title is the one that's going to be making decisions for the next 3 years. Now, even my brother be like, hey man, so check it. You don't want to give Darvin Ham the benefit of the doubt that maybe he'll improve. He was a rookie coach. You don't think he'll improve? When you have a staff going into a playoff series and has available footage to learn how to match up against this team, and you come out with the same lineup you used against Golden State, you don't know how to use your star player in pick and roll basketball. You didn't know that you need a big on the floor against Denver to start this series to nullify them. You running Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, and Patrick Beverly lineups and using them as spot up shooters and in a heavy 3-point attacking offense. And you talking about get this man the benefit of the doubt to improve going forward? That these aren't coaching mistakes. These aren't rookie coaching mistakes. Rookie coaching mistakes is, oh, I didn't know I had another timeout, or oh, okay, he was in foul trouble. I should have pulled him. No, not letting a team going on a 15-0 run. Now check this. Speaking of that, I don't know if it's against Portland. I don't even want to pretend to remember what team it was. It was early in the season when I started seeing this man letting teams go on double-digit runs. This man, after costing us a game when the opponent went on a 14-0 run and killed us in the fourth quarter, the news reporter asked him, "Hey, Darvin, you know how they try to sugarcoat it. At what point do you look at the game and think maybe it's the time to call a timeout, or maybe thinking about calling a timeout in the middle of this run?" My man said, "Well, I look at the game and I see if my guys are tired, and I didn't see them bent over at the waist, so I didn't think there was a need to call a timeout." Let me repeat what I said for that one. Some of that went over some of y'all head. My man was asked directly, "Now you think maybe could have called a timeout? Like what was you thinking in that moment?" He says, "I gauge the what he say the level of exhaustedness I see in my players, and I didn't see any of them bent over at the waist, so I didn't feel there was a need to call a timeout." And y'all asking me how I'm feeling about free agency, how I'm feeling about Kyle Lowry, Kyrie Irving, Joel Embiid traded to the Lakers, and this man is going to be coaching this team for the next 3 years, and was backed by Magic Johnson saying, "We now know we have the coach of the future," after one of the biggest displays of ineptitude, the hugest debacles of a coach I've seen in the history of the sport displayed right before my eyes at the highest level, and literally cost my team, my city, a championship. And half the fan base too dumb to even know that it happened. Come on, man. Miss me with that. I don't care who feeling some kind of way. Matter of fact, I'm gonna block comments because I don't want to hear no stupidity about this, man. That's such a lack of low. That's such a low level of basketball IQ. And this man got backed by Magic, and half the fan base told he got us. He got us this far. He'll get us to the. LeBron's supposed to get better in his 21st season. LeBron and AD in the fourth year of being together, and they still don't even have a two-man game. This supposed to improve next year. AD ain't gonna miss no games next year. We supposed to get better than the top to bottom talent we had this year, and this coach couldn't put a big on the floor. He couldn't look at footage to know with common sense this is how you get it done. No, and his decision making is supposed to get us over the hump next year. Y'all can have it, bro. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm gonna be real. I don't care how y'all feel about it. Once I seen what I seen with my eyes, after the mind numbingness that's been watching these coaches going all the way back to D'Antoni, once I saw this man hand over our title and waste LeBron's potential final season, I don't want nothing to do with it, man. I don't want to talk trades, man. I done seen the dumbest coaching I've seen in the history of my life snatch a title from my squad, from my city, and from LeBron in his 20th year, man. You got a rookie head coach for LeBron and AD on a win now team, bro. Come on, man. Like I said, he was able to fly by with that small crap going against two small teams. But when it came to a team he had to adjust to and actually put bigs on the floor, he didn't know what to do. He had no clue what to do. And when he finally decided, because AD was getting abused by Jokic in the paint, he's like, okay, let me try Tristan, because AD's getting killed. We finally looked like the better team and made the run and had size and had our advantage. And when we gained a 4-point lead with that advantage, you took the man off the floor. That's it. That's it for Meez, man. I'm checked out. They ain't got all the energy they can get from me, man. I don't watch this man take a title from the city, man. I am not confident about this team. I don't care who we trade for, because when you have an inept coach, this is not about being a rookie. This is about not knowing at all what you're doing. At all. You can't let 15-0 runs go by and not call it time. How do you not know that any fan bases on Twitter tweeting timeout, bro? We need a timeout. You don't need coaching experience to know common sense, man. And this man ain't got it. So y'all can root, y'all can cheer for this man. I don't have the energy. I can't do it. Meez is tapped out, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I was close to shutting down my channel, my Twitter, all that, man. I was not gonna be sitting there arguing with dumb fans who had no clue what just happened in front of them. I believe Darvin's gonna take us to the promise. You can have that, man. I don't even want to ruin that energy for you, bro. If you believe that's the man, have at it, man. I ain't in it. Meez ain't in it, man. So anyway, man, I know this went longer than I wanted to. This is more for me than anybody, man. I want to get this off my chest. So when people don't see Meez with his flags jumping in as they used to, man, I can't do another year of this, man. I cannot do another year holding my head, yelling at the screen to dumbass coaching, man. I can't do it. It's an insult to my intelligence. It's a migraine. I got to keep having this going and popping freaking ibuprofens just to watch a basketball game, man. This is unbelievable what I saw on the floor this year, man. We lost Thomas Bryant because this man didn't. Come on, man. I said my piece, man. Hope y'all got something out of this, man. This is why we're sitting here right now watching other teams battle for the championship. LeBron in his 20th season now getting roasted. This is why we getting clowned. We were the better team. Ain't nothing in the world gonna convince me we weren't. We were the better team, top to bottom. We just had an inept coach that didn't know how to use the talent to his strengths to beat the Denver Nuggets, man. He got dragged in that series, man. He got killed in that series, man. And nobody's recognizing it. Nobody's speaking on it. All they talk about, well, LeBron's older and Denver's the better team. Miss me with that, man. Our coach didn't know how to win that series. Period. And now we got to sit back and watch somebody else get the title. I ain't with that. Anyway, man, I said what I said. I'm standing by every syllable, every word. I ain't want to edit nothing. It is what it is. You don't like it, you ain't got to deal with it. You ain't got to follow. You ain't got to subscribe. I ain't with the fake mess, man. That's what I'm not with. I ain't with the fake mess, man. I ain't gonna sit there and let me shut up, man, because I'm gonna get out of pocket. Let me shut up. Let me get a swig. Thank y'all for rocking with me's, man. You got something out of this, man. You can like it. You can subscribe, and if you don't want to, you ain't got it. I'm letting you know why we sitting here watching other teams duke it out for the championship, and we ain't involved. And that starts and ends with y'all man's, not my man's, Darvin Ham, who literally took a title from the city, man, and is getting backed. I ain't with it, man. Thank y'all for being here, man. I got that off my chest. And like that, I'm out.